Hey everybody, this is Mr. Beckstrom, and today I'm going to do an example from 4D. It says, suppose that on January 1st you have a balance of $4,900 on a credit card whose APR is 17%, which you want to pay off in 1 year. Assume that you make no additional charges to the card after January 1st. We have a three-part question here, so calculate your monthly payments. When the card is paid off, how much will you have paid since January 1st? And what percentage of your total payment from Part B is interest? All right. So we have a pretty high percentage rate here. So I'm thinking that our total payment that we're going to be have made will be $4,900 plus a good amount of interest on that. So let's go ahead and start crunching the numbers here. So the first thing is calculate our monthly payments. So we do have a formula for that right here. Very similar to the last video. Let me go ahead and why is it not letting me? All right, well, for some reason it's not letting me do that, but okay. So let's go ahead and identify our variables and go ahead and solve this one. So we are solving for the payment. So our P is our principal. That's going to be the amount of how much we owe. So that's P is equal to 4,900. 4,900. Our APR, that's our annual percentage rate. Percentage rate. That's going to be equal to our rate in decimal form, so that's 0.17. And then we have our N, which is the number of periods per year, which this is monthly payments, so that would be 12. So N is equal to 12, and then we could figure out our APR over N, which is going to be 0.17 over 12. And let's see what we get there. So clear that last thing out. So 0.17 divided by 12. And we get a decimal approximation. So for right now, I'm just going to go ahead and leave that as a fraction here and put parentheses around that. And I'll leave that like this in my calculation to make it a little bit more accurate. All right, and then I also want to know the negative ny. So I know n is 12, y is the number of years, which is equal to 1. And so negative ny is going to be negative 12 times 1, which is just going to be equal to negative 12. All right, so let's go ahead and put everything in the formula there. So that is going to be our P, so 4,900 times, and we're going to have 0.17 all over 12. And divided by 1 minus 1 plus, I'll put this in parentheses, 0.17 all over 12, close parentheses, parentheses to the minus 12. So I'm going to get something that looks like this right here. I put a little extra set of parentheses around this fraction right there just to make sure I put that in my calculator correct. So what I can do here is I can figure out the top separately, I can figure out the bottom separately, and then I could divide and get my answer. The one thing I want to do is I want to make sure that I use a lot of decimal places on both the top and the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and probably use about 8 decimal places on both the top and the bottom just to make sure I get a good, accurate answer. So on the top, I'm going to do 4,900 times and in parentheses 0.17 divided by 12. And here I get, so on the top I have 69.416666. Let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And let me, 4, I get like that. And on the bottom, I'm going to do, on the bottom, I'm going to do 1 minus, open parentheses, 1 plus, parentheses, 0.17 divided by 12, close parentheses, raised to the negative 12, like this, and I get this one. So I'm going to go ahead and write that out. So that is 0.1553281,638. Double check that, 155,328,328,1638. All right. Now, what I want to do is I want to divide the top by the bottom. So I'm going to say the top, 69.41, 0.41, 5 sixes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, and then divided by, and I'm going to do a little shortcut here. Instead of writing down that whole bottom, I'm going to do second answer. That'll pull up my last answer here, enter, and 446.90. So this is about 446. We'll do approximately 446, 6.90. All right. Now we could have also put this entire equation in and done it all at the same time. You just have to be really careful. Make sure that you do the correct order of operations. If I were to do that, I would have made sure I put the entire numerator and the entire denominator in their own parentheses to make sure that it figured those out separately. But you can also do each one separately and do it that way as well. It's just whatever you're comfortable with, but you should get this as your answer for these values here. All right, so that part is A. So let's take a look at B. So while the card is when the card is paid off, how much will you have paid since January 1st? So you want to pay it off in 1 year, so we're just going to take this amount. So B, we're just going to take this amount and multiply it by 12. So 446.90, and we're going to multiply that by 12 months to see how much money we paid for an entire year. And let's find out. 446.9 times 12, and that is $5,362.80. So in an entire year, we paid $5,362.80. All right, and that's it for B. All right, and then C says, what percentage of your total payment from Part B is interest? All right, and to answer these, what we need to do is we need to find out what part of it was interest, and we divide that by the total amount. Well, this is the total amount here. We need to find the interest part. So to find the interest part, we take the total amount and we subtract the non-interest part, which would be that amount right there. So in order to do that, we would take the total amount, 5,362.80. We're going to subtract the non-interest amount, which was the 4,900, That'll give us the amount that we actually paid in interest on this, right? Because if this was the total amount that we paid, and this was the actual amount of stuff that we charged, then the difference is the actual amount of interest that we paid, right? And we put that over the total, which is this 5362.80. That will give us the our percentage, and then we can just multiply that by 100%, right? In order to convert that to a percentage. All right, so let's do that in the calculator here. So clear that out. So 5362.8 minus 4,900, 900. So we paid $462.80 in interest on this credit card. We divide that by the 5362 the total amount. That means, and we multiply that by 100. That means we paid approximately about 8.6% interest. 8.6% interest. So this is approximately 8.6% interest on this credit card. So that's a good amount of interest. So so you could have saved up and bought whatever you wanted to buy for the $4,900, but by putting it on your credit card, you ended up spending an extra, what was it here? An extra $462.80 that you could have. What could you have bought? Oh, you could have bought a 60-inch TV now. You can get those for about $460. So that's what you can think of it. All right. Well, I hope this helped. And if you have any questions, make sure to let me know. And I hope you have a great rest of your week.